Hi guys, so new location I guess. So I'm gonna talk about today the Baddies USA Chapter 1 reunion, my thoughts, episode 1. I have a little tablet in my lap to give some notes, whatever. There wasn't too much to talk about. Um this season I kinda missed the reviews and talking about the season for you guys. Maybe I share my thoughts on chapter 2 cast, but the tea on that season is more interesting than the reunion that I'm about to interact today. Natalie, she stayed the reunion for me. Natalie, this is her reunion. This first part was Natalie's reunion. She's funny, she's comical, she was a drunken mess, and it was entertaining, and I was here for it. Other than that, there's not too much to say about this, but I'm gonna give my thoughts on this. So let's get into it. Suki looks good. Sukiana, she looks good. I feel like her in the May situation that was a little hinted at this at the reunion. I thought she was 100% valid. If you guys disagree with that, I'm not the page for you. She was 100% valid. Gretch, she does a lot of, like Suki was saying, Gretch, you want to be black, but then what's up happens to you, come to the internet and you want to be a Karen, and that's not how this works. So I didn't feel bad for her. Suki is a real street girl, and when you beef with real street girls like Suki, Stunna, etc., Tommy, street things happen. So Gretch, she got what she got, and you know how we got Amber on the chapter 2? She should have been on chapter 1 for Gretchen. I think it's Suki and Gretch right at the time. But other than that, Suki looks good, and she was valid in everything she said. Bobby, he's messy. He had to go. I need Bobby off of whatever this bad and bougie train he's on. I don't know who he's messing with over their production. I don't know what's going on, but we need him off the screen. He got to go. Diamond, she comes out. She had a little interesting outfit. She was half asleep this reunion. I was like, reunions is not for Diamond, in my opinion. I'm like, you know, we see what happens to her next week, and but for the most part, don't want too much to say about Diamond. Her and Natalie talked their little issue, tension. I'm sick of them going back and forth. I'm tired of it. Like, they go back and forth. The moment they like each other, they don't. They fight, and then they don't, and then they back and forth on the internet. I'm sick of it. Natalie. So Scotty, she's out here. They talk about Scotty's pregnancy. They talk about all the stuff going on with that. And I think the question was, she was like, Janisha or something like that. How do you feel about Scotty's pregnancy? And Natalie, she's over here laughing, child, because that is messy. I live for this Natalie. Natalie, she was standing on business from the whole It's True episode that they wrote the clip on, and she's done playing fake with Scotty. I think Natalie cannot hide her feelings of how she feels about Scotty. I'm not gonna say she don't like her, but she just don't. Scotty, as she said, ruins the Baddies brand. Like, she messes the brand up, and I think what Natalie wants with the show, Scotty don't align with it, and Scotty, she's stuck on the castle. Natalie's forced to deal with her, but I feel like morally they don't see eye to eye. They just don't, and I think that's a problem there. I think they do like each other, but their personalities and the things they both want are two different things. And Natalie's trying to guide Scotty in a good direction, but Scotty, she thinking she's winning with Lemmy. Janisha, to me, is winning. She's sitting there looking nice. She's hosting reunions. She has production titles. She's got it with the baby. She's just chilling in the background. She's doing her job. She's getting in the bag. She didn't got to fight. So I think Janisha's winning. Natalie was a drunken hot mess, and I was here for it. And she's giving me entertainment. She was comedy. Saucy Preston, Janisha, and Scotty to talk about their little situation. I am sorry, I just don't care. I feel like we are 6, 7, 11 seasons past that. Like, if they would talk about this on Baddies East when Scotty and Anamac fought, like when it was at the reunion, they was over here circling around while they fought. If we would have brought it up then, I'd have been here for it. But what's her name? Nene Leakes was not a good host for this reunion. Nene Leakes, she's iconic, but not a good host for Baddies. The audience members pressed Natalie and Rolly to fight. Oh, Rolly, she comes out. Rolly, she looks good. This is the first time out of every reunion I'm like, oh, Rolly looks good. The wig was wigging. The bob was good for her. I think the makeup was on point. Like, this is the best I've seen Rolly look, even though she didn't dress up the part. We know her right now. She's fighting clothes. It's Rolly's gonna fight at reunions. Like, this is pretty on brand for her. So I think she looked pretty good. She fought Natalie. The audience member, first of all, the audience, look, Zeus I don't know if the audience they had this go around, but packed them up and sent them on out. They was so messy. Like I don't know. I feel like the audience should not be this involved with the cast. I feel like if you're gonna be an audience, you need to just sit there and watch. They was so messy, like. But they amped up this fight. That one lady that was like, "You gonna be a CEO and put da da da. You need to get in the cast and fight like one." I personally don't think Natalie should be fighting the cast members. If I'm gonna keep it a band, she gave all them opportunity. They all came on the show. They all shining. Rolly, the reason why she didn't get as far as she did is because she fumbled herself. The rest of the girl is like, you have legs. She got far. Diamond the Body, she came on. She doing pretty well for herself right now. Rolly, she just got lazy and she fumbled it back. I feel like Natalie should not be touched on the cast, in my opinion, but here she is. She's fighting. And she lost to Faded Rolly, per usual. If you watch Baddies South, it's not surprising, but I think Natalie did a lot better than Baddies South. She was swinging back. She got some licks in. And I was happy to see that. I was like, you know, like, Natalie, she did not get all the way beat up, and she's not like a pushover. So I think for me, and I don't really ever give like the girls like, oh, she's keeping up or she's like hanging in there. I think for me, it was just great like to see that Natalie has gotten better with fighting. For the most part, even though she was on the couch, she was still swinging. It was just not like the black eyes from Baddies South. You know, as a CEO, you don't want to. As a CEO, you don't want to have a black eye. I feel like that's embarrassing. So I think she has gotten a lot better. And yeah, at the end of the day, she knows she can't beat Rolly, but she got out there, and I guess that's all that matters. But like I said, in my opinion, I don't think that Natalie and Rolly should be fighting. But Natalie is very messy. She's very shady. She said a lot about Rolly, so I get why Rolly wants to get in there with her. But they both have this energy that they don't want to fight each other. Like, they just have this lore. Like, they don't want to fight each other, but the audience pressed them. Because if Rolly really wanted to fight Natalie, when she came out, like, when Rolly, like, went to the audience, Rolly would have chased her out there. Like, we've seen, if Rolly really wants to get you, she will get you. Like, there's no, she's not going to make you square up. Like, Rolly, if she really wants you, she'll get you. So I just feel like they don't want to fight each other, and they have mutual respect for each other. But Natalie's, she just is normally Natalie, she's very shady, and that's what it is. So Rolly, she just, the audience member really hyped Natalie up to get in there, because if that girl won't there, they wouldn't have fought. But then Mariah Lynn comes out, and it gets interesting again, I guess. Tasiki, she comes out, Mariah, and then we have Krishan, and Biggie comes out, and Krishan, she's sitting there with her little headphones in, and she just zoned out. Mariah, let's talk about this hit list. I remember before they went to the reunion that she was on live talking about her hit list was like Marsh, Krishan, she wanted or needed that, some other people. Basically, Tasiki's storylines is who Mariah wanted, being a lapdog. And so she got pressed by the audience about, you need to get that with those girlies, and she did not get that with those girlies. So I don't know, Mariah, she's very mute when it came to Krishan. I feel like if you really wanted to fade Krishan, you should have ran up on her. And apparently Tasiki did not see this live. Tasiki didn't know about this. I call cap. I feel like Tasiki, she keeps up the fan pages. I like Tasiki. That's my favorite on the cast. But I think cause she be liking posts in the pages, she be like liking stuff, so we be seeing her in there. I think she has saw what Mariah said. She just don't care. I think that's what it is. She just don't care. Like Krishan, when Marsh was fighting Tasiki earlier this season, how Marsh like was starting to get a little upper hand. She like was starting to kick her. Krishan was hyping her up, so I feel like Tasiki's like, it's okay for her friends to want to fade Krishan. And I do think if Mariah was to fight Krishan, I don't think Tasiki would jump in, but there's no point because Mariah's not hanging with Krishan. Krishan would tear that girl up. Out the frame, bad. And so the audience, they try to press Mariah to fight Krishan. I don't think that's a fight we was gonna get regardless. Krishan, she was down the type of time, she was talking about like her boxing and this and that, and she's not here for that type of energy. All right, cool. So we have the audience. I just did not like this segment of them all pounding on Mariah. I feel like that's the job of the host. I feel like the audience need to shut up. It's too much screaming, it's too much commotion, it's too much going on in the background with them. And then you have Mariah, she's entertaining them. If Mariah would have shut it up, she wouldn't have got beat up. So she did to herself. She did to herself. So thing Saucy was telling us, who want to fight Mariah? Why? They're fighting Mariah for free. Mariah's getting a paid to beat her. They're fighting Mariah for free, and they didn't even get on chapter 2. That was a waste of time. It's stupid. Like, them fighting Mariah really is stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. She gained nothing from this. She's not on the show. She's not on the season. She's getting no brand deals. She's getting no sponsorships. She's getting no followers. Like, nothing came out of her winning a fight with Mariah. You fought Mariah. You want a cookie? Like, you go. The show was something else. Like, just walk outside on Hollywood Boulevard and hit somebody on the street. Same thing. Like, you got nothing from it, and it's dumb. It's stupid. I'm sorry. Maybe my frontal lobe is fully developed now. I just see this as stupid, and that was a dumb interaction that did not need to be had. But Mariah, she got out there and she lost the fight per usual. I feel like the other cast members would have been acceptable to jump in. Tasiki did not jump in the fight. Mariah, Tasiki's not your friend. Tasiki's not your friend. She should have jumped in that fight because you was getting torn. You was getting took through there. Like, she was taking you through there. The fact security even allowed that was crazy. Mariah shouldn't have fought that girl at the audience. I get, like, Mariah talked to herself into that and she was bucking up at the girl, but Mariah won the war, but she lost the fight. Mariah is still on the show. She's still relevant. The girl, we don't even know her name. And that's the point I'm trying to get people, that's the point I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Like, we don't know who this is. It was just a waste of time. So that was my thoughts on Reunion. I think next week looks pretty good. Rican is getting took through there. Like, they is taking Rican through there. Bad. What's her name? Tinkerbella. Caribbean Tinkerbella's back. I don't know how she was fighting this season, but Caribbean's version of Tinkerbella is back in the field, and she's taking Rican through there, and I don't really mind because Rican, you talk too much. She said a lot about Tinkerbella and her family dynamic, so you get what you get from that. Tavy, I don't remember why Tavy and Rican is fighting, but oh, Rican, she tried to jump in. Okay, I remember. She tried to jump her while she was fighting Fauna or a GMO. I feel like with Fauna, her and Tavy's beef. I'll get to that next week. And other than that, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys are new here, like, comment, subscribe. These are my thoughts. I guess I'm gonna try to do podcasts and just talk about other things. Baddies is just gonna be a little add-on here, but for those of you that come from Instagram, get to have a little chit chat sessions here. Just have a little chit chat. So if you guys enjoyed, I'm out.